We made it. I have never been so happy to see a national forest sign in my life. Guess who's back in the streets of Idlewild? This girl. I think I might save the explanation of what happened for when I'm with everyone, because I think it'll be funnier, and if we can't laugh about what just happened, then that's no good. But let's just say we got stuck on the ridge in a situation that we shouldn't have been in, but we handled it very well, and we stuck together, and we got out of it today, and we're back in Idlewild, and we're gonna spend the night here, and we're gonna figure it out tomorrow. But we have yet to summit San Jacinto, but we did feel the wrath of the ridge. So always more to come. I'm off to meet the boys for dinner. Sari's gonna meet up with Hops. They're gonna go to dinner, and then we're all gonna squeeze into a 6-person cabin. So there's 7 of us. Do the math. Someone's sleeping on the floor. And it's not gonna be me.
Editing me here again, and I never got the explanation with everyone, and I did a really poor job explaining what happened in that clip. But basically, we had changed our plans that we were going to go from PVC straight through the ridge and just do San Jacinto in one go. Changed it because of the weather. We were going to then try and get to the saddle to go down Devil's Slide if the weather was too bad, or continue up San Jacinto if the weather permitted. And basically what happened was we didn't anticipate how hard the trail was going to be on day 2 when we were out there. We planned to do 17 miles and only did like 13, I think it was, because we underestimated the effects of going up in elevation so quickly and the amount of blowdowns that were on the trail. Basically what happened was myself, Sari, and Hops, we were ahead that day, didn't see anyone, got to the first of 3 different campsites up on top of the ridge as you're approaching, like right before the saddle of San Jacinto. And we all looked at each other. The temperature was dropping, the wind was picking up, and we were like, this is probably the most protected of the 3 campsites. So we set up camp, and we waited for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours before anyone showed up. And by this time it was like 7 o'clock, the wind was whipping, it was so cold out, and we were just like, we cannot go on, we cannot do these 4 miles to the saddle, we're about to head into snow, it's getting dark, it's windy, like we don't know what to expect. So we made camp, and overnight the wind just picked up, and it was fine-ish at first. We were just really afraid of like our tents that were flapping around and everything, but no snow had started. The snow had started in the morning, I think around like 4 a.m. and most of us have double wall tents. Like we don't have 4-season tents. We don't have tents for snow. So snow was getting in, our gear was getting wet, we were damp. Luckily I was warm. Sari, I have a 2-person tent, so Sari camped with me that night, and we were warm. And finally, once the sun came up, I knew we were fine. I knew we had to get on the move, but the wind was still so bad and the snow was so bad. So a couple of us have Garmin's, and we paid for a weather report. Sorry, my arm hurts. And we decided, or the weather report basically told us that the snow would stop around, I think it was like 1 o'clock that day. So we broke camp and we just booked it, those 4 miles. We were kind of Sari and I were first. We were breaking trail a little bit. There was one sketchy section that we had to climb over a rock, and I almost fell, which was really scary. But we made it out fine. We made it to the saddle. We made it down Devil's Slide and back into Idlewild. We were shaken up, cold, and just humbled. So from there, day 17 was just spent like recovering, both mentally and physically, and we decided that we were just going to skip the miles. We were done with Idlewild, done with the ridge, done with trying to summit San Jacinto. So we moved on, and you'll see that in the next video. So I hope that was a better explanation of what went down and why we skipped the miles. What also influenced it, I should add, is John, the San Jacinto snow report guy, actually ran into a couple hikers that we were kind of hiking with that day, and they had tried to summit, and he straight up was like, you need to go down this mountain right now. You should not be summiting. You should not be out here. You should not do Fuller Ridge unless you have crampons. Like, it's too powdery of snow. Your microstatics just aren't going to work. It's not safe. So that really, really impacted our decision too. So there's the story. We're safe. It was dumb. We're lucky that it wasn't worse than it was. So lesson learned for sure. But yep, that's it. That's the story. So next video you'll see is day 18, because like I said, day 17 is it's the last day. Nothing happened that day except karaoke, and I'm not putting that on the internet.